Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to Day 2 of Ta'aruf Week Semester 1 2021-2022. I am Ani Shafiqah, your MC for this session. As we are about to begin, I have a few important announcements to make. Firstly, please ensure your internet connection is stable for the smooth running of the session. Next, if you have any question for the speaker, please write them in the chat box provided on the platform. Lastly, you are reminded to fill in the HIUM Health Declaration form provided in your Telegram group and chat box by the end of Ta'aruf Week. Each student is compulsory to complete it. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Let's start our session with Ummul Furqan Al-Fatihah. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored to have Madam Farhatun Najah binti Syahrul Nizam, Assistant Director, Office of Legal Advisor for briefing session with Office of Legal Advisor of Ta'aruf Week Semester 1 2021-2022, as her presence really means a lot for us. Thank you, Madam Farhatun Najah binti Syahrul Nizam, for your time and support in attending this program. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now it gives me a great pleasure to respectfully invite Madam Farhatun Najah binti Syahrul Nizam to deliver her speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and good evening to all of the students and to the committee for today's event. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for being chosen to pursue your studies in IIUM. Alhamdulillah, very grateful to the Almighty. I believe today has been a very long day to the students, but I can ensure that this evening session will be very worth it for you because it involves on the rules, the do's and the don'ts in IIUM. Okay. So as has been introduced by our sweet MC earlier, I am the Assistant Director from the Office of the Legal Advisor, IIUM, or in short, we call it OLA. As appeared in the screen, my name is Farhatun Najah binti Syahrul Nizam. You can call me Sister Farha. I am the Assistant Director specifically on Land Administration Unit and MOA of Non-Academic Unit in OLA. And as appeared in your screen as well, I am the alumni of IIUM, a bit senior, just a bit senior from all of you. Okay. Without further ado, we shall proceed with today's sharing and information. A little bit info of the Office of Legal Advisor Unit. It was first established in 2004 as the legal unit. However, the unit has been extended now become Office of the Legal Advisor. The office is technically acts as the central monitoring unit to advise the university on legal and constitutional issues. It is vested in Article 33, Sub-Article 1 of the IIUM Constitution, where there shall be a legal advisor of the university who shall have some powers and duties as may be prescribed by rules and regulations. So technically, our office is placed under the Office of Director and is accountable to Director. This is a bit just a very brief backgrounds of the office. And as shown is the list of legal advisor, previous legal advisor. However, currently we have Yang Mulia Raja Badul Hisham, Raja Muhammad Ali, who had been appointed effectively on 1st July 2017. So in any case you were to meet or to stumble upon this handsome guy, this is the our Office of Legal Advisor. Okay. And this will be the organizational chart of our office. As you can see, there are 7 units under OLA. We have technically on administration and finance. These are the responsibilities of administration and finance unit. And then we have governance and advisory unit. And then we have MOU and MOA units. So this MOU and MOA stands for Memorandum of Understanding and Memorandum of Appearance. Sorry, Memorandum of Agreement. And then we have drafting unit. We also have land administration unit. And we have litigation and debt recovery unit. Also, lastly, would be the disciplinary unit. So this disciplinary unit is very relevant to all of you, to all of the students, because we are responsible in conducting investigation for any compliance regarding students' discipline and also conduct hearing for student disciplinary cases. Some of you might even ask, what are the relevancy of our office to the students? We might just very related to the management of the university, but that is wrong. Actually, our office function is very much related to the student as well. As you can see, our office is responsible in monitoring process of academic misconduct at all centers of studies. We also responsible in investigating and prosecuting student case. We also assist in reviewing our co with other IPTA and advising and reviewing student disciplinary rules, which these student rules will be shared with you in the later slides. And then our office acts as a committee for student disciplinary enforcement under the Office of Deputy Rector Student Affairs. Also in managing compoundable system. This compoundable system is very related to the compoundable offences in HIUM. So we move with the briefing on HIUM rules. Technically here it listed down what are the do's and what are the don'ts that you may do in HIUM. Okay. There are 3 general rules that is very relevant to you, which is HIUM student disciplinary rules. We call it in short as HIUM SDR. And then we have HIUM academic integrity rules, which is AIR. And then we have HIUM dress code. Okay. These are other sources of reference that you may take a look at. It's on the HIUM Constitution, Mahala Standing Order 2004, Student Academic Performance Evaluation Rules, Administrative Order on the Conduct of Examination. Okay. So now we move to the category of offences. We have one on general misconduct. So this general misconduct is very much related to non-academic offences, where there will be disciplinary hearing conducted. And then there is another category offence, which is academic misconduct. There will be disciplinary hearing handled by the respective kuliah. So let's say if you are students under kuliah of engineering, the management of that respective kuliah will handle the disciplinary cases on the academic misconduct. And then on compoundable offence, we have mahalah discipline and we have road traffic offences. Okay, as you can see on the slides, previously HIUM student disciplinary rules was called as Student Discipline Rules 2004, Amendment 2006. However, it was being amended and few new clauses has been inserted in the HIUM student rules, and thus the new one is HIUM student disciplinary rules. There's no limit of time, or I would say there's no specific year mentioned in the title, and it takes effect on 1st March 2021. So this is the overview of HIUM SDR. There are 4 parts in the HIUM SDR, where the first one, part A, it's on the derivation of authority, enforcement delegation of authority, derivation of authority, enforcement, and then part B, we have category of offences, part C, disciplinary procedure, and part D on appeal process. So this is what I mentioned earlier, part A. And then this is the executive personnel. As you can see, the list of executive personnel can be found in IIUM SDR as well. And as I mentioned earlier, at kuliah level, the dean of the kuliah will assign or instruct the deputy dean, head of the departments, or even the lecturers to enforce the rules to the students. This is the list, or we could say what offense or what conduct that constitute as a general misconduct. And that includes but not limited to as contrary to the Islamic Code of Conduct, contempt to the university, detrimental, prejudicial to the interest, well-being of the university, and damage to the university's property, or even cause any person to hold reasonable fears to his safety or physical and psychological well-being. Okay, now we move to what are the examples of general misconduct. Okay, the first one, it's on fighting, physical fighting. This is a very famous, I would say famous general misconduct, and it is wrong, of course, under the rules. And then we have liquors and alcohol. If you can see, it's stated in Rule 13, it mentioned that any student shall not within the university consume or has in his possession or under his control any liquor or container of liquor, regardless of it contains alcohol or even it just for the purpose of display. So if you can see here in the rules, it's not stated that a student should be caught red-handed drinking alcohol, but the rules mention that it is sufficient for the student to be found under his possession of a liquor. So please be careful. Next, on the obscene materials, under Rule 14, also the same, where it's not mentioned that a student may be charged when caught red-handed having this obscene material or looking or watching these obscene materials, but it is enough that or sufficient that this obscene material is in his possession or under his control. And then for drugs and poison, also the same. It is sufficient for the student to have under his control or possession any materials, tools, or apparatus in consuming drugs or poison. And then we have a new topic under the IIUM SDR. It's on harassment. So under this topic of harassment, we have 3 subcategories, which is 1, sexual harassment, as you can see here. And then we have body shaming. We also have cyberbullying. So if you would like to know more on what are the acts constitute as harassment, sexual harassment, body shaming, or even cyberbullying, you may have a look at the IIUM SDR, which you can find on OLA IIUM website. Okay. This also includes immoral interaction. This immoral interaction, I would like to highlight that any male who is found together with one or more female, not being his or wife or mahram, or female who is found together with one or more male, not being her husband or mahram, or the last one, male or female who is found together with the same gender in any secluded places in a house or room which give rise to suspicion, engage in immoral interaction, physical proximity, or any kind of indecent behavior. So now we have included the 4th sub-rules on the same gender. So please be careful. Okay, this is the disciplinary procedure. As you can see it is also vested under the IIUM SDR, where investigation will be conducted by the disciplinary authority. And then the student will have the right for consultation. And then a disciplinary hearing will take place where the student may give their plea, either plead guilty or plead not guilty. And then a written decision from the panel of the disciplinary committee will be sent to parents, scholarship, and also sponsorship. In any case, the student would like to appeal on the punishment. The student may appeal within 14 days from the date of the pronouncement of decision to the presidents of the university, in which the current president is Datuk Daud Bakar. Okay. And on the decision of appeal, it may be reduced, maintained, or even increased, which is very rare as of now that the decision of appeal being reduced or being maintained. Hence, please be careful before you committed any offense. Okay, so this is the Student Disciplinary Committee. I would like to highlight that our security or auxiliary police is actually carry the same duty as the police officer outside. And due to that, any I would say we call any act of non-compliance to whatever mentioned by the auxiliary police, you may be charged under the HIUM SDR or even section 186 of the penal code, because our police is carrying the same responsibility as the police officer outside. Okay. So now the example of academic misconduct. The previously academic misconduct also vested in Student Discipline Rules 2004, Amendment 2006, but now we have extracted it and make it in a separate document, which is HIUM Academic Integrity Rule, which you can find also in OLA HIUM website. One of the academic misconduct that you may found under the rules is that the appearance and conduct during examination. This under Rule 5. And then attending lectures also under Rule 5A, where a student shall not absent without prior permission of the Dean of the Kuliah, head of the department, or even the director of the center division, unless the student has justified or reasonable cause for not attending the class. And then we have under the IR on plagiarism. This is under Rule 6, where taking of intellectual property expressed in material form, writing, data, or invention of another person and claiming that it is your idea. So this constitutes as a plagiarism under the IE. And one more thing I would like to share with you is we have forged offense under academic misconduct on forging documents. Very recently, we have a student forging documents on MC and the student being suspended. And just this morning, I have a student case where the student being dismissed from the university, even though the student is a fourth-year student and just finished his internship, but because the student has forged documents of the university, then thus the punishment imposed on him. So please be very careful. And please take a look of any offenses that falls under the HIUM academic integrity rules. And then we have compoundable offense system. And as you can see, it comes into effect in 2005, where it covers general discipline compoundable offense, mahalah discipline compoundable offenses, road traffic compoundable offenses. These are the general discipline compoundable offense. You can see it in on OLA's website as well. This one is on mahalah discipline compoundable offense. And then this on road traffic compoundable offense. All you can find it on OLA's website. So this is the consequence of failure to pay fine under Rule 36, where university may withhold student result transcript even. Okay. And this is the HIUM dress code. The point and the gist is it must be Sharia compliant and it must not be revealing. No dress in tight fitting or figure hugging, no cross-dressing which resemble the opposite gender, and of course, no slippers, which slippers is only limited use in mahalah only. Okay, these are the example of approved dress code for male. This also. And these are the example of approved dress code for female. This one also. And you can see on the left or on the right, for me, it's on the left, for you, it's on the right, I perhaps, where it is attire approved for non-Muslim in HIUM. However, the student must wear a headgear. Okay, these are the example of this approved dress code male. These are the example of this approved dress code for female. Okay, I believe that's all from Office of Legal Advisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Farhatun Najah binti Shahrul Nizam, for a very informative speech. Now, I open the floor for any question to be asked to the speaker. Dear attendees, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. It seems that we have a question. First, what type of misconduct that can expel student from the university, and how do Office of Legal Advisor make decision before they expel the student who commit misconduct?
Okay, thank you for the questions. First of all, I would like to correct a bit. Office of Legal Advisor does not decide on the punishment to be imposed on the student. However, for any disciplinary cases, there will be 3 panels appointed. It may be come from the kuliah, the center, or even from the management, and they will deliberate on a disciplinary case. They are the one who will decide whether the student will be expelled or will be suspended. And for the expulsion, on how OLA were to decide on the expulsion, okay, it's actually under the rules. If you are able to look at the rules, there are punishment listed already in the rules. What are the punishment imposed? I believe that should be sufficient.
Okay, thank you, Madam, for answering the question. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our session. On behalf of the organizing committees, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to Madam Farhatun Najah binti Shahrul Nizam for her willingness to attend this event. We really appreciate your presence today. We would also like to thank everyone involved for making this event a success, and we would like to apologize for any shortcomings. Before we end our session, here are a few reminders for you. To all students, I would like to invite you to visit the Pavilion website for the virtual booth exhibition, and you may use talk chat in the virtual booth exhibition to ask your question. I will also remind you to fill the feedback form provided by the committees in the chat box. We will now end our session with Tasbih Kafarah and Suratul As. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.